You've probably heard the saying, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. And you know what? It's absolutely true, especially now. So if you're running an e-commerce store, what does a healthy profit actually look like in 2026? Well, let's dive in and break down the definitive benchmarks you need to know. I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Your Shopify dashboard might show sales climbing, which feels great, but after all the ad spend, the shipping costs, the transaction fees, what are you actually taking home? That's what we're here to figure out. We're going to go way beyond those top-line numbers to get to the real truth about your store's financial health. So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll get clear on the 2 critical margins every single store owner has to know. Then we'll jump into the 2026 benchmarks, so you can see exactly how you stack up. After that, we'll diagnose the common margin killers that are probably eating into your profits right now. And don't worry, we'll wrap up with 4 powerful, actionable strategies to boost your bottom line. Okay, let's start with the absolute foundation of all of this. Seriously, if you don't have a crystal clear understanding of the difference between your gross and your net profit margins, you're pretty much flying blind. Getting these 2 numbers right, that's step 1 for building a business that's actually gonna last. First up is your gross profit margin. Think of this as your product's report card. It's simple, really. You take your revenue and you subtract the direct cost of goods sold, or COGS. That's basically everything you spend just to get or make the product itself. This number answers a crucial question. Is this product even worth selling in the first place? It tells you if there's enough meat on the bone to cover things like ad costs and still make you some money. And now for the moment of truth, net profit margin. This right here is the bottom line. This is the money that's actually left in your pocket after you've paid for everything. And I mean everything. Your products, your ads, your Shopify fees, your software, shipping, you name it. This number, it doesn't lie. It answers the single most important question you can ask. Is my business actually profitable? This really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, gross margin is all about whether your product has potential. On the other, net margin is about the real, true health of your entire business. And a lot of stores get into serious trouble right here. They'll see a healthy, 60 or 70% gross margin and think, great, let's scale. Only to find out that rising ad costs and all those little fees have completely wiped out their actual profits. That's why the smartest operators, they live and die by their net margin. So what even is a good margin anyway? Let's get to the data. The numbers we're about to look at are based on a pretty massive analysis of over 5,000 e-commerce stores, which gives us a really powerful snapshot of the industry today. So, let's see how you measure up. And here it is, the big number. The average net profit margin for an e-commerce store in 2026 is sitting at 21.7%. So, how does your store compare? Are you above this line or are you below it? This is our key anchor point, but the story gets way more interesting when we start to break it down. Now, this is really interesting. Look at how much the business model itself changes things. Notice that print on demand, or POD, has the highest average net margin at 26.6%. And that makes total sense, right? There's zero inventory risk. But then look at dropshipping. It has a super high gross margin, but its net margin is actually the lowest. It gets dragged down by those crazy ad costs and not having control over fulfillment. This is just a perfect example of why net profit is the only number that truly matters in the end. The differences get even more obvious when we look at specific niches. Check out furniture, sitting at a whopping 29.13% net margin. That's often because of higher average order values and really strong branding. Now, compare that to animal and pet supplies, down at 14.1%. This doesn't mean one niche is better, but it just goes to show you how things like pricing power and how much it costs to get a customer, they create totally different financial worlds. Okay, so you know your numbers and you've seen the benchmarks. Now, if your margins aren't quite where you want them to be, why is that? It's time to play detective. Let's dig in and identify the 6 key factors that are most likely eating away at your profits. Here they are, the usual suspects. Your product's costs, your COGS, basically set the floor for your profitability. Every single dollar you save here goes straight to your bottom line. Then there's your pricing and your average order value, or AOV, which decide how much you make on each sale. Ad spend, well, that's often the biggest variable, and it can just run away from you if you're not careful. Fulfillment, shipping, and returns can quietly bleed you dry with hidden fees. And oh man, those little platform and software fees, they add up fast. And finally, just simple operational waste can cause a slow leak of profits over time. These are the levers you need to be pulling. All right, enough with the problems, let's talk solutions. Look, there's no single magic bullet here. Improving your margins is all about making smart, strategic moves across your entire business. So we're going to cover 4 of the most powerful strategies you can start using right away. So let's get to it. First, lower your COGS. Try negotiating with your suppliers or even redesigning your packaging to be lighter and cheaper to ship. Second, increase your average order value with things like pre- or post-purchase